My name's Nathan, and this is my merchandise company. And 12 years ago, I started my YouTube channel, and then after that, I started selling merchandise. And today, we've sold over $20 million in merch through this website. And I want to give you the full story of how I did it. So be sure to watch till the end, because this video is going to be super knowledgeable. So first off, if you have no idea who I am, my name is Nathan. This is the Blueprint channel. This is where I share all of my advice on how to be a creator. I've been doing YouTube for about 12 years, and I've had multiple channels over 10 million subscribers. And like every YouTuber, I started selling merchandise because it's one of the easiest things to sell, and all of your fans want to take a piece of you home. So that's what I did, and it turned out to be a pretty big success. $20 million in sales over the years that we have ran this company. And I want to just share with you the full story. So definitely be sure to subscribe. We post videos here every single day on the channel. And on top of that, I actually want to build a blueprint revenue program for you guys, like a super in-depth program of every possible way that a content creator can make money. Because I have done, millions of dollars in brand deals. I've done millions of dollars in physical products and all types of other things. I also, just last year in 2024, we added $1.5 million to one of our YouTube channels without uploading any extra videos, just by optimizing our old videos better. So I have all types of crazy strategies that you can use to really maximize your revenue as a creator, and I want to share them with you guys. So if you could, leave a like on this video if that's something you want to see. But let's dive into the story. I started selling merchandise when I had about 1.5 million subscribers. And the reason I started selling it is because, well, every YouTuber sells merchandise. So I was like, why not? It's such a simple, easy thing to sell. It's a t-shirt with your logo, your brand on it, and people can go buy it. And it's an actual product. I was really excited as a content creator. Our product is a video, but we don't really sell videos because the videos are free and anyone can watch them. So it was really exciting to me to finally sell a product to my audience. It was just really, really cool. So that's why I started. So all your fans that watch your videos can now buy basically a piece of your video, a piece of your brand, and they can take it home and keep it. On top of that, if people wear your shirts and your logos, they might be seen in public places, maybe at school, people might recognize it. So honestly, it's like a great advertising tool, not just a way to make extra money as a creator. So I loved the idea of merchandise, but there was a lot of things that I didn't realize how difficult it would be. Let me explain. So the way I started selling merchandise was super simple. I basically contacted a local screen printing company, and then I also contacted some graphic designers, and we started working on our first couple t-shirt designs. And we made them very, very simple. Let me actually show you one of our first ever designs. This was it right here, and we actually still sell it today. We actually just started selling it again, but this is one of our first designs. It was very simple. It just said the word unspeakable. The font was it wasn't great, but this was one of our first shirts. I started with 3 simple products. I started with a shirt, a hoodie, and a hat. Kind of a little bit for everyone. And the reason I did that is because, well, some people love t-shirts, obviously, but then also some people might live in cold places, so they might want a hoodie. But what if someone doesn't like hoodies or shirts? What if they just want a hat? Because I also wore hats in every single video I filmed. I was always wearing a hat, it was always backwards, and I loved wearing hats. So I felt like it was a part of my brand. So if you think of selling merchandise, think of things that your audience will actually enjoy. Maybe they might not like shirts, but what about a notebook, a pencil, maybe even a comic book, a story, or a real book? There's so many things you can sell them. We also started selling wacky stuff like this, oh, it's falling apart. This is a head that you can put on and wear it, kind of like a Halloween costume. This is like a 3D little figure. It's actually pretty cool. But we have sold all types of products, hundreds and hundreds of SKUs. We also have over here, hold on. We've also sold like beanies. I mean, everything, you name it. We've sold varsity jackets. We've been there. We've done that. My point is, going back to the beginning, is I still have my first invoice, and it's actually framed. I have a picture of it. I have a picture of the company, what we ordered, the amount. I think it was for like $14,000 for our first ever invoice. It was a lot of freaking money, but I was hoping that I could sell the shirts for a little more than $14,000 so I could make some profit. After the screen printing was done, I ended up getting a trailer and actually going to the store and picking them up. We pretty much filled up the entire trailer with boxes. And then I also ended up going to Home Depot and picking up some metal shelves because I actually turned my garage into a little fulfillment center, because at the time I still lived at my parents' house and I needed a place to fulfill these orders. I didn't have an office space. I just had my house. That was it. So just like, Steve Jobs and Apple and all those great companies, I started fulfilling merchandise in my garage. I also had to learn a bunch of new things. I had to figure out how to build a website. I had to figure out how to operate shipping label printers, which for whatever reason, I had the hardest time understanding how to operate these things. It was so tedious because it doesn't just print normal paper, it prints like stickers and anyways, but I had to learn a bunch of new stuff, and it did take a couple days for me to get set up and organized and figure everything out. Then after about a month of waiting, working with the designers, printing all the stuff, setting everything up, it took about a month for me to set everything up, maybe a month and a half. And then I finally launched by posting a video, and I called the video My Big Secret. And this video was posted in February of 2017. And at the time, like I mentioned, I had around 1 million subscribers. So I had a ton of people on my channel that could possibly want to buy something. And the first month, we actually did pretty well. The first month we generated 409 orders, and that was $10,426.88. Our first month selling merchandise. Now, I know for some people, they're like, holy crap, that's insane. $10,000 in a month. And it was actually really, really good. But also, you got to remember, I had 1 million people following me. 1 million people. So there was a ton of people just like ready to buy something. I've been making content for years, and they've just been waiting for me to launch merchandise or something. Now, over time, just like every other YouTuber, I continue to promote merchandise and evolve the company. There were so many things, so many lessons that I had to learn. And I even launched an Instagram page just for my merchandise company, and we actually grew it to a decent size and took a ton of pictures promoting the merchandise. I mean, I was doing photo shoots like every single weekend for merchandise, and also really starting to go all in on merchandise. I was thinking about new product lines, like how we could deliver the products faster, because in the beginning we were getting about 10 orders a day. So the way that I would fulfill them is I would actually just fulfill them at night by myself. But at the same time, I was so excited for the future. I was like, one day we're gonna have a big office, and we're gonna have a warehouse, and we're gonna have like shelves, and we're gonna have a forklift. For whatever reason, I was really excited about having a forklift, and we're gonna pick up the merch and take it over here. And I thought it was gonna be this huge operation, and it did actually turn into that. But anyways, done dreaming. Back to the reality. So in 2017, this was a year after I graduated high school. I graduated in 2016, and then in 2017, that's when I launched merchandise, and also that's when I hit 1 million subscribers. I started my YouTube channel when I was in 8th grade. So it took me about 5 years to get to 1 million subscribers, and then I launched merchandise. And this was kind of like my schedule. So basically, I would wake up in the morning, I would film videos, I would edit videos, I would script videos pretty much all day till dinner time. And then after dinner, I would go into the garage and fulfill merchandise orders. And like I said, we only got about 10 to 15 orders a day. So it only took me like 1 to 2 hours to fulfill the orders for the day. And then I would go to sleep and then wake up the next day and do it again. As I kept promoting my merchandise and as my YouTube channel kept growing, sales started coming in quicker and quicker and quicker. And that became a little bit of a problem because we were starting to get, 20 orders a day, 30 orders a day, 40 orders a day. I remember there was a couple nights where I literally had to stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning just packing orders because like we got 40 orders that day and I had to go ship them out. So luckily I had some friends that actually lived in my same neighborhood, and they were actually willing to come over and help me fulfill some orders. So that was really cool. And also my mom stepped in a lot and helped me fulfill orders. So that was just wonderful. Huge help. So obviously I kept growing the channel. I kept pushing the merchandise. I would push it in every single video. I would just say ridiculous things trying to get people to go buy merchandise. I also did like news promos. I remember I would pop up and be like, there's a huge news, there's a huge sale. We tried tons of discounts. We did huge Black Friday sales, all of that stuff. But the merchandise started to outgrow the garage, and it started to actually take over my entire house. So it took over my entryway, We had like a little side room, like a little dining room that it took over. And then it actually started to crowd into my room where I was filming videos. So I would literally walk into my room and like move boxes out of the way to film my videos. And all the boxes were just extra merchandise. I actually took all of my clothes out of my closet and put them under my bed, and my closet became merch storage. So I know it sounds crazy, but this is how it all started. This is, you know, back in 2017 when I was still living with my parents. So it's just crazy to look back and think about how fast and how quickly everything can grow. But that's what happened. So then we decided to lease an office space because we're like, yo, this is getting ridiculous. We have to get this out of our house. So our first office space was around 2,000 square feet. And of course, one of my goals was to put my own logo on my office space, which was just such an awesome thing. So I bought a giant unspeakable sign and I put it on the outside. And then we started actually hiring employees to come help us fulfill merchandise because we couldn't do it all ourselves. We were starting to get, 50, 60, sometimes 100 orders in one day. And it was like, this is like an operation now. Like, we need people to help us. That's when we started hiring and we became like a legit company. On top of that, in the background, there was so many things going on. I had a whole team of designers that I was working with. I was kind of contracting them to work and do a bunch of different designs because we were starting to pump out like 6 different hats, 8 different shirts, 6 different hoodies. We were doing bracelets and all types of things that we could get our hands on because we wanted to give our audience a huge variety of things to shop for. Because if you think about it, my YouTube videos were seen all over the world. They were seen in different countries. People were watching them in Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, and all of these different places, they wore different types of clothes, right? Like, not everyone just wears t-shirts. So I wanted to have a huge variety of stuff. So I didn't want people to come to the website and be like, oh, I don't really ever wear that, so I don't want to buy it. So that was our next focus. It was really expanding on all of the SKUs and making sure we have a huge variety. And at the same time, we were trying to form big relationships with a bunch of different screen printers in our area because our current screen printer, we kind of outgrew them and we were actually giving them too much business. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they can only print so many shirts, right? So then we started to work with multiple different screen companies. We also worked with companies out of Texas. So we worked with companies in other states and even out of the country as well. This is just a little bit of a flashback back when I was at my parents' house. Every day I would actually have to take the packages in the morning and drop them off at USPS because I was fulfilling the orders at my house. So then I would have to take the packages and take them to the post office. And every single day I would go in there and take packages. And eventually one of the ladies like recognized me and they were like, hey, are you coming here every day? And I was like, yeah, we get about a couple orders every day. So then she had me like fill out this thing and it was basically like a drop-off service. So then the USPS truck would actually come to my house and pick up packages instead of me going to them because I had so many orders. So I actually have a picture of me sitting on the back of the truck and we just filled it with tons of merchandise. This was like at 10 o'clock at night. They decided to come pick it up. So I don't know. It was just cool. It was cool. It was like we were just in the journey, in the grind. It was such a cool experience. But anyways, fast forward. Pretty much we kept growing. We kept doing the same thing that I just mentioned to you, and we kept growing. We actually outgrew our 2,000 square foot office. We only lasted about 1 or 2 years there. And then we moved to a bigger building down the street that was 10,000 square feet. So it's like 4 times the size. And we actually filled up this building very quickly, believe it or not, because we had so many products coming in from so many different companies. Merchandise at this point was doing anywhere from, $250,000 all the way up to $500,000 in sales every single month. So it was a full-blown train trucking down the rails, if you know what I mean. And one of the big reasons that I think the merchandise company was so successful is not just because of the merchandise, but also because of the YouTube channel. We were growing the channel at a rapid pace. We were going from 2 million to 4 million to 6 million to 10 million subscribers and beyond. And then I was launching other channels that were also growing at super rapid pace because we were compounding all of this momentum because I was uploading literally hundreds and hundreds of videos every single year. Look at year 6, we posted 887 videos in one freaking year. That is crazy. So we were pumping this like a factory. delivery, not just with videos, but also with merchandise. On top of that, our products were really good. They were very affordable, and we had this huge variety of products that no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, if you came to our site and you wanted to buy something, we had something for you for the right price and something that you would like. And that was ultimately our mission, and it works pretty well, because we made 20 million bucks. So not too bad. And the story keeps going. I can keep talking about this. If you guys want to see a full blueprint revenue program where I go super in depth on how I did merchandise and also how I added millions of dollars of revenue to my YouTube channel with uploading 0 videos just by optimizing my old videos better, then let me know by leaving a like on this video and clicking the subscribe button, because that's something I definitely want to pump out for you guys. I think it's going to be really good. And we'll see you tomorrow.